Hello and welcome to my impromptu show. It's not so much a cup of tea, it's more an informal chat, if you like, because we've not done a video in a little while. So thank you for everybody that's tuning in. Thank you for the one person that before the show had even started has already given it a thumbs up. It's probably going to be rubbish. You should wait till the end before giving it the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Your expectations are too high. This is not going to be a high standard show. I've got to tell you that much now. But we have things to discuss. Now, I can hear you all asking, virtually of course, what has happened to Gio? Hello, Paul, in the chat there. Well, we've got to apologise for the lack of content this week. The Twitter's been quiet. The forum's been quiet. We've been very quiet on this channel. We've been very quiet on the other channel as well. Well, basically what happened was Gio went on a boating holiday at the start of the week to Loch Ness. Contact was severed. We've not heard anything back. So we're hopeful. Hopefully, otherwise, it's just going to be a cup of tea. Well, Gonzo just drinking a cup of tea on his own is what you're going to get in the future. So hopefully we see Gio again. You never know. There might even be a preview tomorrow. But I can't do it, that's for sure, because I'm otherwise engaged tomorrow. But I did feel the need to talk about Chelsea. We've got to talk about Wilshere as well. What did I put on the list? The Euro League spot, that was another thing. Yarmolenko. There's a few bits and pieces to discuss. So I thought, why not jump on, have a chat with you fine folks. I'll take questions throughout or opinions, and then we just go from there, really. So without much further ado, let's just have a look at who is in the chat. We got Rob, we got Paul, we got Mr. Happy Hammer 81. Who said Gio is obviously in the Spice Girls. We've got Chris Coleman, who says it's not good enough. He's not happy with me sat here on my own. There's not a lot I can do, Chris. Nessie has had a wicked way. Is it a she? Is Nessie a she or is it a he? Whatever. She's had a wicked way with Gio. So we may not see him again. Mike Monera is moderating, saying, hi, gang, as Mike does. We've got Ian Cook, got Andy Walsh. Hello, Andy. And we have got Sean also in the live chat. Thank you very much, one and all, for joining. Now, I'm just going to shamelessly flick through some of the news that's been going on as I'm sort of winging it at the moment. So, just scrolling down here, we've got Boss reveals the road to success over Chelsea, which I can see on Claret and Hugh there. Now, this is all about Manuel Pellegrini talking about the road to success over Chelsea and about how the level of performance has increased. Obviously, he's quite buoyed by the by the result against Everton, but I can't help. I'm just a bit worried. I think there's a pessimism that us West Ham fans have, and certainly I'm guilty of it. I can't quite let it go. You know, a swallow doesn't make a summer, as they say, and I just can't quite get my head around the fact that everything is bright and rosy again. I mean, I've got to say, we got Chelsea coming up. They've been resting people. I mean, obviously, they were in the Champions... not the Champions League. What are they in? I don't even know. Anyway, they're in Europe. I think they're in Europe tonight. He's been resting. He's not taken Hazard, for one, who's obviously their main player. And the fact that they're going to have fresh players ready for us, they've been really good this season. I think the fact that they're not in the Champions League, if that indeed that is the case, is obviously going to help them. And it's going to allow them to focus on the league. Clearly, under Conte, they've lost their way a bit. I think he's a good manager, Conte. I really do. But Seri's come in and they seem to have been reinvigorated. They're playing a stylish football. Alonso's bombing down the flanks, isn't he? Supporting well from wing back, full back, whatever you want to call it. Pedro's come into the team. He's playing really, really well. Obviously, Hazard is just firing on all cylinders. So anyway, so he's been rested. So I just don't want to get too carried away with this Everton thing. If we get a point against Chelsea on Saturday, and it's my wife, Mrs. Gonzo's going. It's going to be her first game of the season. If we get a point against Chelsea, I'd be delighted. In fact, not just that, I'd actually be delighted with a battling loss. If that sounds a bit pessimistic, I would take something from it. You know what? I would think that at least we are making progress. I thought Everton were very, very poor. I thought we played them at the right time. We have earned that. We have really earned that result. Our form and our history against Everton at Goodison Park has been atrocious. They were even going on about it on the telly. You know, Sky and whatnot were saying they were a bogey team. Everybody knows it. It's no secret. And even Will David Moyes in to talk about it, hadn't they? So whilst it was a good result, it was a welcome result. I don't think we've turned the corner just yet. I think things might well get a little bit worse before they get better. But it was nice to see a glimmer. And a glimmer is what we got. And it was bloody nice to see Yarmolenko. And going on to this, as I'm reading through the news, the boss, Mr. Pellegrini, has been talking Yarmolenko up. He seems to think Yarmolenko is going to... it's just going to rip it up in the Premier League. I've got to say, his age did worry me slightly. But... Payet was a similar age, wasn't he? And, I mean, he was absolutely fantastic. And if anybody saw his brilliant goal that he scored for Marseille in the week, he's clearly still doing it. I do think that the Premier League is a level above in terms of athleticism, in terms of fitness, and in terms of what they demand of a player. But, do you know what? If we get a good player for a couple of seasons, I think we've done well. And at these prices, you know what? Who can argue? So he's had his press conference today, Pellegrini. He spoke very, very encouragingly about Pedro Obiang, and he did mention Declan Rice. Now, I'm not even looking at the live chat at the moment. I'm just reading as things come up. I'd be very interested to read your comments in a second on everything. But does that mean that Declan Rice's contract is close to getting sorted? It's a funny one. He's certainly picked his time to start playing. And I just wonder, excuse me, there's the phone. I just wonder if now he's going to start really establishing himself in the first team. If he does, then clearly the contractual situation is going to need revisiting again. So maybe I'm a bit worried about that situation as well. But hey ho, you know what? I'm just a worrier. The boss, he was saying, there's another article here that the boss is pleased as the squad started to believe. So he's clearly thinking that all the players are starting to buy into his tactics and buy into his philosophy. Hopefully that's the case. On a downer though, on the next story down, it says Pellegrini hopes Wilshere knows what's best. And it says Jack Wilshere has been left very upset by an injury which looks to have left him sidelined for between 4 and 6 weeks. Now, I wanted Wilshere. I'm not gonna lie. Everything I say is documented on video anyway, and I wanted him. I thought his injuries, he might be over them, but it appears not. And now all the people that were saying maybe he was just an injury-prone player and we paid too much in terms of his wages, maybe they're looking right. I think, as horrible as it sounds, and I don't believe it, I think Wilshere can come back and I think he can play a good and prominent role at West Ham. But did his injury come at the right time? Were those tactics, was that midfield three of Noble, Obiang, and Declan Rice forced upon Pellegrini? Would he have played Noble, for instance, had Wilshere been fit? Now, I did the review with Mr. B the other day, and I didn't mention Noble at all. I did realise afterwards I hadn't mentioned Noble, and I think he did have quite a prominent role to play in that game. But it was hard because Yarmolenko was just so impressive, and you know, Declan Rice was. Obiang obviously was involved in a couple of the goals as well. Arnie Yarmolenko, as I said, it was easy to overlook Noble in there, but I just wonder how much of his captain qualities, his leadership qualities, let's say, how much West Ham is ingrained in him, sort of help coax that performance out the rest of the team. You know, I think that was a big one. But was that forced on Pellegrini? Also, I don't know if any of you listened to Talk Sport at the start of the week. Now, I mean, Jim White's as good a reason as any not to listen to Talk Sport, but for some reason I did. Maybe I was skipping through the channels. It popped up, and Jim White had done an interview with Robert Snodgrass. Now, Snodgrass, he didn't say it. He said it in as much as footballers say things. That they're very highly media trained, aren't they, footballers? They say, they choose their words, they pick their words very, very carefully. And he was pretty much saying, I think that the British players had grabbed all the foreign lads by the scruff of the neck. Now, when I was watching, so I didn't go up to Everton, when I was watching that game, the commentator said, oh, West Ham are playing 11 different nationalities here, or something like that. And actually, that tells a little bit of a lie, really, of course, because, you know, it's sort of naughtily classed. It classed Declan Rice as an Irishman, which of course he is. But also, you had Snodgrass in there as well. But then you've got people like Zabaleta and Fabianski who have played a lot of games, you know, in the Premier League. And they know what it's all about. I don't think Zabaleta and Fabianski need to be told what the Premier League is all about. But I did take the point on, and that was that a core of the team, a core of the squad, had maybe said to some, no names mentioned, but I'm thinking Felipe Anderson, who put in a more industrious shift. I think they'd said to them, get your act together. We need more effort from you. And I just think some of that was happening. I just thought it was very telling. And it probably, even though Snodgrass didn't start, I think there's something to be said for having him around and certainly having a core of British players. So, yeah, very, very interesting. Just all sort of news that has trickled out. And we talk about news trickling out. Bear in mind the fallout from obviously the ex-West Ham employee and all the rest of it. So it's all been relatively quiet, but news certainly has started to trickle out on that front. And it just seems to be a more upbeat feeling within the squad and a better togetherness. I'm really keen. I'm looking forward to Sunday. I'm going to the Anthony Joshua fight on Saturday. So I'm going up to Wembley, watching that fight. And I'm staying out at the Moxie Hotel. And then then, as I say, Mrs. Gonzo's coming up. And then we are going out to the Chelsea game. It's going to be a fun weekend for me. But I am really looking forward to that game. Just to see what it's like, see what the stadium's like, what the atmosphere's like. We needed that. I think it would have been absolutely rancid in there. If we'd have lost to Everton, it would have been doom and gloom in that stadium. But I just feel as fans that our spirits have lifted a bit. And I'll be interested to see how we're going to play. Because we play counter-attacking against Everton. I don't care what anyone says. It wasn't this tippy-tappy stuff. It wasn't all-out attacking football that maybe we thought we would get in when Pellegrini first arrived. We counter-attacked. And I like it. I absolutely like it. I've got no problem with that at all. I said it in the review. If that's how we're going to go, that's how we go. Let's just do it. So I just wonder if we're going to play the same way, play the same team, certainly. We hope Arnie's fit. I think he's fit. Smoke and mirrors regarding the medical team releasing news on that sort of thing. But I think he'll be fit. So we've got to play the same team again, surely. And do you know what? I'm actually looking forward to it. I can't remember. It's been a little while since I've looked forward to a game at the London Stadium because I think even tail end of last game of the season, when we played Everton, it was Big Sam was coming back. I don't think I particularly look forward to it. So, yeah, gonna have a bit of a spring in me step for this one. Anyway, let's have a look what you fine and lovely people are saying. Oh, blimey. Okay, Perez, right. I'm just looking in the general chat there, and Flight Time has said Perez. Now, I don't know. Apparently, who told me this? I was on Twitter earlier. Basically, somebody said, you owe Perez an apology. Can't remember who it was. So anyway, I was guilty, and I would apologise in as much as surely Perez doesn't watch this show anyway. If he does, he's probably tuned out because Gio's not here. But I was guilty of believing what Sky Sports had said in the previous game, and that was, of course, that Perez had refused to warm up. Now, we go live straight after the show, right? So, I mean, straight after the final whistle, we press link up, we press record, and we go. So the last bit of information I had was that, now I had people in the direct messages saying to me, oh, you should have done your research better and all the rest of it. But, you know, that's not what we do. Look, we're not researchers. I have got to assume that what Sky Sports are saying is the truth. Now, you laugh. I know you laugh. I know. But I've got to take that. In the same way as if I watch something on Match of the Day and they say someone got sent off for this, or this, I've got to take that. And then I've got to run with it. We've got to talk. So anyway, it seems like on the back of false information, I have falsely accused Lucas Perez of not warming up. So I'm very sorry. Sort of. I'm sort of sorry. Because I do think that Pellegrini tried to explain it away. I think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle of Pellegrini's story and what Sky said. I reckon he was told to warm up. I reckon Arnautovic got an unexpected injury. I reckon he was probably going to do something else tactically. Then And now he's got an injury just after he scored that goal. And I think Pellegrini changed his mind because of the injury. And I think Perez got the ump, basically. And I think he was throwing a bit of a moody one. Did he refuse to play? No. But I think he was spitting his dummy out, if you know what I mean. So I do half apologise. But I do think he showed a bit of attitude on there. But he did do a lovely statement afterwards and said he's fully behind West Ham. So I don't want to kick him out, like I said in the review. So hopefully that is apology enough for who did say it. I'm sure someone will tell me. Anyway, there we go. Right. We've got a couple of people in the live chat. Buzz Fox has donated £2 to the fighting fund here, so as he could say that Anderson gives him bonus, not bonus. You know, makes him excited is what he's saying. I wouldn't normally read that out, but a man's paid £2, which is obviously going to our Making Memories fund. The wristbands are just here, available on hammerschat.com. You know what it's all about by now. We're trying to make memories for nice people, West Ham people who have had a bit of a bad run of luck, really. So, yeah, we're trying to save up some money and do nice things for them. That's it, really. Gary Page is in there. Gary sent in a video earlier on in the week on our second channel. Thank you very much, Gary, the only one that's made an effort this week, mate. Clearly, you weren't on a boating holiday in Loch Ness. And he says he needs a single game for a change. That's what he said in his video. He thinks we need to make a good atmosphere. We need to make a better atmosphere in the stadium. I agree. I do agree. But I think the team have got to give us something as well. Well, I think we always start well. And I think we get a good first 10 minutes. I think we're singing. We're all very, very excited. It's a relatively early start, isn't it? 1:30 kickoff, I believe. Chris Coleman says Perez is suing Hammers Chat for defamation. Oh, Katie's retracted her message. What could she have said? I do wonder. Here we go. Anyway, so what we got? If we get a penalty on Sunday, who takes it? Asks Flight Time. Ben Davis says Noble. I'll let you lot answer that. I am going to go and read a little bit more on the news because there's a couple of other things that have... This is ridiculous. Hammers linked to Chelsea ace. Chelsea striker Alvaro Morata has been linked with a move to the Irons in the January transfer window. Rubbish. Rubbish. It's not true. That's just not true. Well, he might be linked, but he ain't coming, is he? I mean, crikey. Sullivan must have a very, very... He must be tightening up, is what I'm saying. I bet he can't believe how much money he has had to spend. And then they've said they're not going to sell other people. Well, I'll tell you what. There's no way that man expected to spend 100 million. They've had to organise another overdraft just to cover it. Now, they bought him. I'm talking about Chelsea, yeah. Bought Morata from... It was complicated. Was he owned by Juventus or Real Madrid? Whatever. They spent 50-odd million on him. And we're just not going to spend that sort of money on a striker. I don't know where these stories have come from. Transfer Market Web. Bit of a non-story. That ain't going to happen. Don't put any money on that. Ridiculous. Morata to West Ham. Do me a favour. Do you know what? He's going to score. He's going to score against us, isn't he? I think he probably will. What have we got? Pellegrini's Arnautovic injury message. We've discussed that. Pellegrini fires Yarmo warning. Phil Parks has had his say on Lucas Fabianski, and he's impressed. Well, if anyone knows, Phil would, wouldn't he? Well, just so as you know, I'm just running through the news here. This is going to be a feature that we're going to do far more quickly than this because I want to sort of get engaged with the live chat at this particular point. But we are going to be doing news sort of every other day on the second channel. So you can find us on there. It's a Hammers Chat forum channel. Just search for that, Hammers Chat forum channel on Google. There you go. You'll find it. Press subscribe and then you'll get a little thingy. Bing! One of them to your phone. Hammers closed door on winter sale. West Ham owners are in no hurry to start clawing back their summer expenditure by selling players in the next window. They're basically not going to sell Obiang. I should think not. And they're not going to sell Antonio, even though Crystal Palace are interested. And Chicharito ain't going to be sold because no one can afford him. The Obiang one's very, very interesting because for every loser, there's a winner, isn't there? And if the loser is Jack Wilshere, then the winner has got to be Pedro Obiang. I mean, I think there was every expectation that he might have been out the door. In fact, I would speculate that if that transfer window had stayed open, like it did in yesteryear sort of thing, and it stayed open for another month into the season, and he hadn't got in the team, we might have sold him. But it's funny. It's funny how fortunes change. If he plays like that every week, then, well, clearly he's going nowhere. Apparently his family are still desperate to go back to Italy. If you remember, he played for Sampdoria. Obviously, he's a Spanish. He's Spanish, but he played for Spanish under-21s. But I think he moved to Sampdoria quite young. So he's got quite close personal ties to Italy. Somebody else who's actually doing very well in Italy is Edmilson Fernandez. Remember him? He's made a really good start to life at Fiorentina. And so, yeah, it looks like they will probably activate the clause that they have to make that permanent. I think it was about 8 million or something like that. Yeah, it looks like he's doing very well indeed. Now, here's the one that really has got my attention. Hammers set for better Euro chance. Now, in case you've missed this story at all, UEFA want to set up a third Europa League, or whatever it might be called, Europos, Cupos, whatever. Now, I think the Europa Cup is, particularly having, you know, all the Astra business and all the rest of it, I think it's Mickey Mouse anyway. I really do. I've got no love for it at all. I was never one to get excited that we might have qualified for Europe. Champions League, yeah, I get it. I understand. But let's be perfectly honest. I mean, who wants to go and play an away fixture in Outer Mongolia on a Thursday night? Nobody. Well, I can't get excited. I cannot get excited about playing Kazakhstan Rovers in the Europos League. Now, what this is going to do is going to water it down even more. So the third tier, I mean, crikey, it's like a conference of European football. We don't want, but anyway, listen to this. West Ham's chances of reaching Europe are likely to be increased by the introduction of a new UEFA organised competition. The plan was first mooted 3 years ago, and the aim is to give clubs such as ours a better opportunity of hitting the Euro level. Clubs such as ours, basically shit ones, right? What he wants to do, he wants to give shit clubs a chance of playing in Europe. But give you shit, you don't deserve to play in Europe. Europe should be the cream, the cream of the crop, right? Honestly, the creme de la creme. I'm getting my metaphors mixed up. But whatever, you know what I'm talking about. The very best are meant to play in Europe. So previously, you'd have, so the Champions League is, I think even that's a bit crap, isn't it? It used to be knockout, right? It used to just be called the European Cup. So the champions of Italy, the champions of Spain, the champions of England, the champions of all the leagues in Europe, and only the champions, okay, would face each other in a knockout. I mean, what a proper competition that was. Then the cup winners of each, you know, each country in the continent would play in the Cup Winners' Cup. And then you had the sort of UEFA Cup for the dregs and the the people who hadn't quite made it, but they would still, all right, you know, people that finished second and third and things like that would go into the UEFA Cup. Well, that's fine. It's still excellent. You're still getting the top teams in there, aren't you? I mean, seriously, can you imagine, right, the 11th place team in England facing, I don't know, no offence, but, well, maybe it is offensive. I'm actually forget no offence. It is offensive. Facing the 11th place team in Slovenia or something. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy. And it's honestly talking about cook the golden goose. They really do. They seem to want to wring every last drop of money that they can out of the concept of European football. There we go. Anyway, West Ham ticket exchange. It's boring. It's boring. Oh, sorry, it was David Luiz. It's Hazard and David Luiz who have been rested, apparently. That's pretty much it on the news front. This one. Pundits' change of heart rewards 2 irons. Alan Shearer has been responsible for a couple of devastating attacks on the Hammers during his matchday gigs this season. Oh, yeah. Basically, Alan Shearer has changed his mind. Who gives a toss what Alan Shearer says, right? I do not care. Yeah, he digs us out. He digs us out. Oh, whoopee-doo, he's changed his mind. I remember when Newcastle had Pardew in charge and we had Allardyce in charge. And Alan Shearer called us deluded. He said West Ham fans are deluded and they need to be happy with what they've got. They should think themselves lucky. Be careful what you wish for. He's one of the be careful what you wish for brigade. Then in the same week, he said that Newcastle fans deserved better because they were saying Pardew was shit, basically, and they wanted a better brand of football. Well, that was all right. Apparently, it was all right if you were a Newcastle fan to demand better football. Apparently, they deserved it because they were real fans. Sorry for doing that. They were real fans, and apparently we were deluded. Hey-ho. So I've got no respect for Alan Shearer at all. Very good player, obviously. But as a pundit, not so much. I like Danny Murphy. I quite like Gary Neville, actually, as well. I know he's a bit of a, bit of a numpty, isn't he, really? But I think he's opinionated. He's good. Danny Murphy, very good. And Roy Keane. You like Roy Keane? Anyone else like Roy Keane? Roy Keane's the best pundit. I do love it. He's really grumpy. I like that. Anyway, back to the chat. What's been going on? Let's say David G. Hello, David. Says, Gonzo, having spent 90k net, have we become any better than Palace or Watford? I think you'll find that's now 90k. He obviously means 90 million net. I think you'll find that's 100 million, David, plus agents' fees. What else have we got? Buzz says, watch European Cups be played in the US soon. Yeah, it's all about money. I think we're seeing that anyway. I mean, we're seeing the NFL coming over here, aren't we? I do think we are going to see an expansion over to foreign countries. Just really how that will impact the season ticket holders. That's interesting. And Ben Davis says match of the day pundits are boring anyway. The Fat Controller says he thinks we'll beat Chelsea. Call him crazy, but that's how he sees it. You're crazy. Gary Page says the BBC hates us. Flum, hello, Katie. The most hated pundit. Oh, me? Lee Dixon is Ian's favourite. If you think Shearer is bad, listen to Phil Neville pre-match analysis of Everton. It's flight time. It's a real funny. Sorry, I thought my panel was going to fall down there. There's a parody of Phil Neville on Twitter. It's very funny. Go find a Phil Neville parody. Michael Owen is the worst. He's a bit boring, Ben. He's a bit boring. Good player, though. Wally World says, will Rice play? Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Quite like Kelly Dal. Oh, Lee Major likes to watch Kelly Dalglish. She's okay to watch. That she is, but she's no Natalie Sawyer. Chris Sutton and Ian Wright are the better pundits, says Daniel. Actually, yeah, I really like Wrighty. I went to a birthday party once and Wrighty was there. It was for John Jensen. No, it wasn't. No, John Jensen was there. Oh, I can't remember that, but he was there. He was a nice guy. Yes, Chris Sutton. Again, he's a little bit moody, isn't he? Richie Von Rock. Hello, Richie. I wanted to say this, actually. We've got some really interesting people that follow us. Richie Von Rock, for those of you that are regular watchers, Richie Von Rock, right, he's a scuba diving instructor and a jewellery maker, which is pretty interesting, I find. But yesterday, I find out ZP Hammer, right, who's been following us for ages, and a big hello to you, mate. He flies eagles. I don't know, not like Gandalf. He don't climb aboard the eagle and fly it. You know, he does falconry and stuff like that, and owls and eagles, and works in a bird rescue centre sanctuary. I'm not explaining that right, am I? But fascinating. We're sending me all these pictures of crikey, size of an eagle. Things bigger than him. Absolutely amazing. We've got another person that follows, artist, does all this. Angelic Upstart, he's very good as well, does all this stuff. We've got some talented people. Watch your show. I don't know why they're watching this. And anyway, Gonzo predicts Sunday's score, please, mate. Paul says that. So did George Carby. The trouble is, I've been right, haven't I? Not on scores. I've got that. The first win I predicted was Everton. I got that right, didn't I? Not like Ryan. Ryan from West Ham Fan TV said 3-1. I thought it was going to be 2-0. I'm going to lose. We'll lose. If it's close, I'll take a 2-1 loss. I don't mean I'll take it. Well, I did. I said it. Maybe I do mean I'll take it. But I think we might lose 2-1. But if it's sort of like injustice and we almost got a draw, I wouldn't mind. I want to see some promise, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think we should. There's no evidence. Just we won't lose. They look really, really good. Funny enough, they do one good season, Chelsea. Then the manager does the second season, it's crap. They sack the manager, bring a new one in, they do well again. Hey ho. Anyway. Yeah, proper life and solar party. Sorry, it disappeared. I think you were talking about Ian Wright. I didn't gate crash the party. I was working there. I was working at the party. I used to be... well, I'll let you guess what I used to be, but I used to do entertaining at parties. And no, before you say it, I wasn't the strippergram. That's up to Andy there. What kind of virus does Chicharito have to be out for this long? Ebola or something? He's got a nasty flesh-eating disease. No offense to anyone that's got a flesh-eating disease. Actually, probably dead now anyway, aren't they? But anyway, what else we got here? Don't go near Chicharito, says Solon. Hello there, mate. No, I certainly won't. Should West Ham do something for Frank Lampard's achievements? Now he's 70 years old. I don't know. You can't do something for everyone, can you? I don't know. I think the club treated him a little bit harshly. Gonzo, I didn't gate crash the party. 1-1 says Katie. That's her prediction. Hernandez is a backup player now, says Ben Davis. Gonzo, golf clash? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Anyway, 4-3 game of the season, says Dane and Cracknell. Hello there, Dane. And Victor Fenn, as another regular, says, what's it about Sawyer? Well, you know what we like about Natalie Sawyer, for goodness sake. She's got a lovely voice for reading the sports news. I wasn't a clown, Andy. Balloon animals, no, but I can do balloon animals, but that wasn't what I was doing there. No, washing tables. Yeah, that's it. Gonzo, the party magician. Yeah, well, imagine that. Fancy that. Right, okay. What do I think will happen with Oxford? Getting back onto West Ham news. Somebody who went? Brooke Bonds off the forum, right? Off of the forum, hammerschat.com, that one. He went the other day, and he said they were a bit of a disgrace. Did they play Bristol Rovers or something? Anyway, he went, and he said what Oxford was just poncing and mincing. Neither of which, either poncing or mincing, neither one is complimentary, is it? Let's be fair. But he was doing that. He wasn't running around, basically. He was sort of strolling through the game. He wasn't impressed, basically. That's so what do I think of that one with Oxford? Might just peter out. Maybe we'll accept quite a low offer for him in January, something like that. He's clearly not involved in the match squad at all, is he? Game golf clash on the phone. That's what Paul's saying. I tell you what I got on the phone, Paul. We're digressing. I should finish this show, really. I've got this app where it's going to sound mental, but you've got to roll a toilet roll down. A toilet, it's like a game and you've got to beat a timer. Sounds terrible, doesn't it? And the irony is I play it when I'm on the toilet. So there you go. But then sometimes I get confused with the real toilet roll, and anyway, goes. Party plumber. No, I wasn't, Wally. Was I chasing Daddy Longlegs? Listen, that's if you don't follow me on social media, you won't understand the Daddy Longlegs thing. So I'll leave that as it is. If you could do balloon animals, you want to see a balloon animal, I'll tell you what I'll do, Katie. If I can find some balloons, I'll do one of your dog. That's that for you. Kelly Brook for Sky Sports Pundit wouldn't be bad, would it? I don't know who you're referring to. Is the Silver Kid playing? Oh, sorry, I see what you're saying, Sol. Obviously referring to the guy up front, the Portuguese fella. I don't know much about it at all. Send it back to Germany, talking about Oxford. Says BuzzFox, David Price. Obviously, surely not David Price. We're doing Pricey. Hey, you should be getting ready for your fight. I'm going. You need to get off it. You need to get your bluety sleep. Anyway, he says Oxford will do well elsewhere. Flight Time said, do you think Silva will step up to the first team? Who knows, mate? Who knows? Connor Matthews, hello to you there, my friend. 2-2 Sunday, says Paul Schofield. Zande Silva. Zande? I don't know. There's no point writing it, though, because it won't, unless you can do that clever thing where you use the phonics to spell it out. I'm a bit lost with it, really. Anyway. Let me just check the old other thing. So I think I might wrap this up. There we go. Yeah. It's all right. I've got no more questions. Are there any YouTubers you want to call out for a boxing match? Right. I'll tell you this now. All right. For some reason, I have had 3 people offer me out for a boxing match, right? On YouTube. 3 separate people. I don't know what it is. I don't want to fight anyone. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to fight anyone. Target shooting. I do target shooting. We'll have one of them. Fun fight. Might do a fun fight. Game of FIFA. They're all going mad over FIFA 19 and the player ratings, aren't they? You've seen that. People are getting quite moody that they're not quick enough or whatever. You know, very, very into that, I've got to say. Hello there, Christopher Perks. Daniel Bain says Silver should play against Macclesfield. He might. What are your cheeky bets for the boxing? Got Joshua to knock out on the 5th. I don't know. You know what? I don't care. I've got to say, I don't actually care. It sounds funny, doesn't it? But I mean, boxers come and go. It's not like West Ham. I just hope for a good evening's entertainment. I go to the MMA as much as I can. I used to follow Nigel Benn sort of religiously. Years ago, used to live very, very close. So yeah, I even washed his car a couple of times actually. And yeah, he was a big. Apart from that, I wouldn't say I follow any one boxer. But yeah, hey ho. Anyway, listen, Paul. Good night to you. And AJ will lose. Gonzo. He might do. He might do. What I would say about AJ, if anyone's interested, if not, you know, you might want to switch off now, or just give it a thumbs down. But the thing with AJ is he played it safe in his last 2 games, his last 2 fights. He's going to need to step up. It's almost like he's just box ticking to be a great. But actually, the people that were great just went out and fought. And I talk about Nigel Benn. Nigel Benn went to America. Nigel Benn just would fight anyone, wouldn't turn down a fight. And I just feel that AJ is. I thought the referee, I thought he would have beaten Parker, and even that Takam, I thought he made hard work at Takam, and I thought Parker, the referee was too involved. You can't keep doing it. That's why Klitschko's reputation dipped down for so long, because there were some dubious results and some dubious decisions. I think he and also there weren't enough explosive decisions. And I think AJ needs a knockout, and I think he knows it. And I think he's going to try for one. Canning Town Jen, hello Jen, hello there. We know Canning Town Jen is not to be confused with Canning Town Len. Pillow fight. Yeah, I don't know about pillow fight. Pillow fights can get quite violent, Jen. I've found. David Price says he's the 4th one on, mate. I know, we're looking forward to seeing you fight, Davey boy. Oh my goodness. Price v Gonzo. Listen, I'm the size of a small hobbit. David Sullivan towers over me. And David Price is 7'4". It's not a good matchup. Super show, keep it up, mate. Thank you very much, Steve. I'm just sort of winging it. Nice shirt, mate. Thank you. So I'll get a few more made. I'll have them do competitions, but I'll bear in mind we have a competition winner for our fantasy football. I'll be doing one on the second channel next week. A big update on that. I'll announce the winner from August. We'll have a look at what's going on in September. Not good. Not for me. Not good for me. And if we could change the music bubbles that the team walk out to, what would it be? It's funny you should say that, because Chris Akabusi was saying a couple of weeks ago that he thinks the music, it might be like a curse, because it's like Fortune's always hiding and fading and dying and stuff like that. Fury Wilder fight would be great, says Ben Davis. Yeah. I mean, if it happens, be interesting. They've still not signed it yet. The rumour is that they're waiting until... Actually, they can't wait until next week, can they? The rumour was they were going to wait until Friday to announce it, to try and take some of the press and some of the razzmatazz away from the AJ fight. They don't get on with each other. Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, they don't get on with each other, do they? So that's quite interesting. David Price, 7'5". We know you are, Dave. We know you are. And right, Dean Marsh says he's shocking in the fantasy league. So am I. I think I'm 100 and I can't see. I got rid of the window. I'm 160 something in my league. Sol just quickly said, "What's the latest from the stadium?" They're all small battles being played out, mate. The big end game is yet to happen. You know, I don't find it a healthy position that we find ourselves in. I gotta say, I just wonder what will happen in the long term. In the long term, let's all be perfectly honest. That we need to move those seats close to the stadium. We need to own the stadium. But I think, is that going to happen? I don't know. And I think there's a lot to play out. And they're just firing shots across the bows at the moment. carpets and banners and stewards and rent and all this sort of stuff are all peripheral issues ahead of the big main battle, which is going to be ownership of the stadium. Solani to Spurs or have Eddie Hearn. I don't want Eddie Hearn. Jazz, I don't want Eddie Hearn. He just says Solani to Spurs or have Eddie Hearn invest 30% in the club. I don't want Eddie Hearn. Listen, his dad tried to stitch us up. Barry, Bazza, he tried to stitch us up. No. And I don't want to sell Arnie to Spurs either. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, it's sort of like rock or a hard place. Oh, now I don't have to play that game. Buzz, do you think final score 2 will be shot at the London Stadium so we can move to a proper football stadium? Yeah, it might be shot at Tottenham Stadium. Crikey. Will we end up playing at Rush Green? It's not big enough. Do we think, and I'll do this be my last question and I'm going to go. So, do you think we need a new stadium? Well, I don't think we've got a lot of choices on where to move. I do think years and years ago we should have done the Beckton move. That should have been done. If you are doing a stadium move. If not, there was no reason not to just expand that East End. You look at, they said it couldn't be done because the height, because the bus garage, both are proved to be incorrect. Just nonsense, absolute, just nonsense from the owners, basically. Because the flats there now are more than high enough for a big stand. I mean, we could have done 46, 47,000, whatever, in that stadium at Upton Park, which ironically enough is about what we're getting once you take all the propaganda out of it. We're not getting, why are they pushing for 60,000? We can't even fill the 53, 56, whatever it is. We can't fill that. So, listen, the point is now we're there. Do I think we need a new stadium? Not in terms of the site. I think, we probably should stay there, but I do think structurally it needs to be reconfigured. Put it that way. Whether that constitutes a new stadium, who knows? But someone very, very rich can need to come in and do it if that's the case, because clearly this lot haven't got the money to do it. I mean, they're worth $1.5 billion between them, and they've got to take out a 45 million overdraft from someone else paying 7% interest. That tells you everything. They're not going to spend the money to get it done. Sorry. Anyway, listen. I can't read that out, Jazz. I can't. Do I feel like Deck tonight without Ant? Isn't Deck Is Deck the naughty one? Who's the one? Who's the drunkard? Is that Ant? I always get confused. Well, whatever it is, clearly I am the good one, and the other one's the drunk one. But he'll be back after a period of rehab once he's stopped riding that plesiosaur around Loch Ness. He'll be back. Anyway. It's been very nice. It's been very nice talking to you. A little bit informal, a little bit impromptu. Thank you very much for joining us. I've got to say stuff now, haven't I? I've got to say stuff. What have I got to say? I've got to say subscribe. I've got to remind you to subscribe. I have got to remind you that Gio is going to be back tomorrow with the Chelsea preview. I won't. I'm otherwise engaged. Doing stuff. Private stuff. And what else have we got on? We got some videos coming next week. I'm going to go to the Chelsea game. I'm not going to do a vlog because I've already told you I'm going out to the football the night before. Not the football. The boxing the night before. I will take my camera. I'll take some shots and I'll stitch some bits together and something of the game. Plus, I'm taking my wife to the game as well. So, so it would be wrong to stick a camera in her face all the time, wouldn't it? Really. So I'm gonna enjoy the day with her, enjoy the day with my friends, and I'll do a little review like we saw Mike do, and like I did after the game against Everton. I will do a little review in the stadium, and I'll just give you my thoughts while I'm sort of sat in my seat, and I'll either be crying or I'll be very, very happy. And that'll be the next time. I think that'll be the next time you see me on video. Aside from that, next week we do a fantasy football. We'll do some new stuff as well, and hopefully we'll have some your shouts in on the second channel as well. Which where the new stuff will be, which where the fantasy football will be. Hammers Chat forum channel. Subscribe to both channels, and thank you everyone. It's been really nice. Been really nice in the live chat. Really nice to speak to everyone. Really nice your questions, and you're nice. You're a nice bunch of people. Lovely bunch of people. That was very nice. I'll see you later. Thank you very much for joining in. Right, where is my off button?